Boom. What's up, everyone? Welcome to some Black Guys and a Drunk. And of course, we are waiting
Well,
on
Fatal J's here. He showed up
we're,
late.
we're
About a
waiting
minute.
on people on their own time.
CPT time, baby.
Black people time.
CPT.
BP, BPT, Black people time.
Man. Hey, you wearing a Superman shirt?
Oh yeah, this is an old
I'm doing
Batman
Black
versus Superman.
Panther in honor of you guys. I'm doing Black Panther. My Black Panther shirt. And LB's rocking the Orlando. It's all
Yeah,
good.
man. Free agencies going on, so gotta represent for the NBA stuff right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh
Definitely,
snap, we
definitely.
live, huh? What
No,
up,
Oh yeah.
everybody? Oh,
no. Lord Callis, hey, I told you, drunk BPT. Lord Callis,
What's
welcome.
up, Lord Callis?
What's going on, y'all?
Thank you for being right on time. Right on time. Right on time.
Absolutely. I'm trying to render this video.
Thank you for being doing work at the same time, huh?
Yeah. Is that me right now?
Yeah, that was you.
Oh shit.
oh, I thought the Majina was on the channel. I thought the Majina was in here.
They coming. They come. We'll let a couple people make their way. Try to tweet this out real quick.
Dang, somebody topping fast in the mug.
I heard that shit.
That is LB.
Hey, bro, you need to be one of them people that's in the courthouse, man.
Hey, how do you run it through so it comes up through the Logitech?
Who, me?
Like, how do you anybody?
My stuff just do it automatic.
Yeah, when you go through the PC, because I have to do it through my phone. I don't.
Oh, you talking about the Hangout?
Yeah.
When you're on the computer, just click the Hangout link and it'll automatically go to the Hangout.
Or hit settings and switch the camera.
Okay.
And like when you join the Hangout, it has a settings at the top of the page that you can put your camera on and stuff.
Gotcha. All right, I'm not gonna try it this time. I'll try it for the next.
So you with us on through your phone?
Through my phone. Cause I just use the Google Hangouts through my phone, and when you put the link up, I just click the link right through the.
Oh, I see. Yeah, if you click on your computer, it'll take you through the whole process. So it'll be all good. Before I was letting a couple people get in here and.
Hey, Fatal J.
Okay.
Did you tweet out the link to your 1,084 followers? No.
I'm glad you got the number right this time. And no, I didn't, but I will.
You can just tweet my link.
Yeah, that's an easy way to do it. That's an easy way to do it.
Okay, I see everybody pulling up now. I see Chaotic Clyde. I see It's a Trap Productions. Stevie J. JP's Mode. Bro, what kind of name is that? JP's Mode.
Man, Mitch, what up, baby?
Darth Gavel, Mitch, Chris, Smoke Bancy, Stig.
Black Angus in the building. What's up, baby?
Black Angus pulled up.
Black Angus, man. You been acting funny, dog. What's going on with you, man?
Heroic Avenger.
Black Angus, we beeping or something, dog? Get back at me. I ain't been on a pre-senate for months. You ain't put your boy in a pre-senate in a long time, bro. I'm thinking you ain't liking me.
I mean, Fatal, I haven't been on the pre-senate in a while, so I guess it's a black thing.
I think so.
I mean, it's cool, bro.
And that's the cool thing about it. I think Black Angus is black. Black Angus is black, dog.
Indeed.
Well, he's a black Angus.
Indeed. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for saying hi to everyone while I pull up this link. It's not stuck on me, right? Like when people, I'm making sure everybody was okay. Before we begin, let's just get this. Definitely not getting this out of the way, but we just want to talk about Anna, that Star Wars girl. The tragic news of the death of her sister was just reported.
Oh man,
Just,
she died.
Crazy.
yeah, it was terrible.
Hey.
To see the community come together, just with everything and everything else. It's horrible news. If you want information, she or Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers will be posting it on their Twitter account. I suggest you go there. But what we have here is they did start a GoFundMe to help with her and things like that. So I put the GoFundMe in the chat if you wanted to take a look about it, and whatever's going on. So is really sad. The High Council will not be. They will taking a rest on this Tuesday in mourning with Anna and helping her get through this tragic time with family. So I just wanted to get this out, that all of us here and I know many people in the chat that know who she is. Our condolences, our thoughts, prayers, our love, our good vibes, our support, everything is pouring out to her right now. So I really, just a tragic. I don't know any information. Don't ask in the chat. And I do ask that you respect people in the chat. If you're just gonna post like something suspicious or anything, I'd rather you not, because I don't want this show or anything to cause any type of weird rumor or speculation or anything that happened. I do not have any information except what I read on that Star Wars Girls Twitter account. So that's the only thing I know. And it's a tragedy. I know everybody here on the panel and everyone else, and many people in the chat were retweeting, trying to help find her. She went missing for several days. And that's all I know, is that Anna, the Star Wars girl, said, "My sister has passed away and I'm heartbroken." And we leave it at that. I do not have any other information. Please, again, don't post any speculation or rumors or anything like that. I don't want people to say we were on Drunk's channel and we read this. So we don't no, man. We ain't about that. We're about like consoling her, being with her, and just letting her know we love her and everyone over there. So just getting that out right now.
My condolences out to her family, man. That's something tragic. That's tragic, bro.
Yeah,
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah,
that's a rough one. That's a rough one. So every now and then I'll go ahead and throw. I'll just throw that GoFundMe. If not, you can find it on Jeremy's channel. You can find it on my Twitter account. You can find it on all those things. So if you're interested in something,
I think it's on Nerdrotic too. I think he retweeted.
Yeah. So it's out there. It's out there to find that. So there it is. So with that being said, let's just go into our panel.
Trinity, what's up, man?
Awesome panel. Fatal J just blurting out stuff over talking people, but that's okay.
That's what black folks do.
Second Street is on. So you quiet. What's up, Marvel?
My man, Second Street Marvel is in the house.
Yes, he made it.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Turn it up. All right.
Yeah, I got my Amazon Associates mic in today.
Looking like a bill collector.
All right, how's that?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Bill collector. Yeah,
I'm looking for drunk 3PO, please. You're late on your
doctor's office. You seem to owe about $9,000. How can we expect payment anytime soon?
Exactly. You can expect payment anytime you want. Who was it said that? Was that Cedric? I think it was.
Yeah,
Cedric
I think it was Cedric. You can expect it whenever you want.
Oh, there we go. Is that better? You
Yeah,
get
that's
There
good.
you go.
now.
What's up, man?
I wasn't for sure. I watch all these live streams here on YouTube, and I just noticed like everybody just has their avatar up there. I wasn't sure if it was cool to show our faces or not, so I just came prepared.
Well, the only thing is that the show is called Some Black Guys and a Drunk, and if everyone had their avatar, people will swear I was lying. So that's all that was. So let's introduce ourselves, and we'll just go right down the list and just introduce your channel real quick, and then my first topic is kind of funny, so we'll get right into that. So Lord Callis, you may go first, and we'll go down the line.
Yeah, what's up, Lord Callis? I got a second channel too now, Callis Games. So check me out over there. But Lord Callis, Star Wars news, reviews, theories, clues, all that good stuff.
There it is. Go ahead, LB, while I eat this watermelon.
That's all. That's all I want to say. Go ahead. Keep moving.
He's a lonely man.
Fail J, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Fatal J, a man with many titles. The Bootleg King. Now they started to call me the Clickbait King. I take that. They call me the Fake News King. I take that. The man that'll steal your mama's Wi-Fi. Right now, I'm at my mama's house. I'm at my parents' house right now, taking their Wi-Fi. You see what I do for you, chat? I'm stealing Wi-Fi for a good live stream. So make
There you go.
subscribe to your boy and everybody else on the channel. Get back at your boy.
And finally, for the second time, we have Second Street Marvel. So talk to us, man. Tell us about your channel real quick.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Trinity over at the Second Street Marvel. I do like comic reviews, movie reviews. It's been a while since I've done a movie review, and music reviews as well. I've done a couple of those, and other than that, just do like a couple videos a week, just mostly talking about comic books and stuff like that. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I'm also a cyclist, so pretty soon you're going to be seeing me flap my gums about some of that because the Tour de France is coming up, and every year I do like this thing where I ride half the miles that they do in the Tour de France, and which ends up being about 1,100 miles in 3 weeks.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie, and you know me. Hey, I'm a straight male, but Second Street Marvel, when he be kind of yoked up on some of these videos, bro. I'm trying to get like that. Hey, Banter and Drunk, you see me in the gym the other day. I'm trying to get yoked up. I'm trying to turn this snap into fail. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, you ride your bicycle 1,100 miles
In 3 weeks, yeah. It'll be over the course of 3 weeks. Yeah.
Damn.
It's about 50 miles a day.
50. Oh, you ride your bicycle
Yeah.
50 miles a day. I don't even drive my car 50 miles a day. Not even close. And I think the last time I was on my bicycle, the tires were like, please get off. Like, please. Like, can you just walk instead till you get on bicycle? Your weight gets to about bicycle things. So,
It definitely
on the
took some time to
exercise
get there.
He like old boy, dude. Got caught doing the steroids. What was his name?
Oh, yeah, Lance?
Yeah, he like Lance.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, heck yeah. Lance Armstrong.
Oh, you like
man.
Lance, but didn't Lance do a little extra to get a
Yeah,
little?
he had
Oh,
some.
man, they all do. They all do.
Oh, okay. I just see what was on the news, man.
Hey,
What was on the
bro,
news?
if it was up to me, I would let everybody in sports do steroids. Like they be tripping on dudes in baseball. They be tripping on dudes.
That's why it's not up to you, Fatal.
Yeah.
Bro,
A lot of
just
them
think how,
do, though.
but think how dope baseball would be if everybody could just freely take steroids. I want to see a Joker hit a ball so hard it bust the skin off the baseball.
But that's not natural. The whole purpose of it, Fatal, is supposed to be natural talent. Otherwise, you might as well play the video game.
No, I want to see boys breaking bats. I want to see them hit.
Yeah, and then you wanna see him dead at 35 years old.
That's the price you pay, baby.
I mean, come on.
The thing is, I mean, just paying attention to like the whole Lance Armstrong thing and all that stuff, you can really kind of find out the like really probably more than you think really actually do in a lot of sports that you probably wouldn't even think they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because the thing is like if they're being smart about it, like just like the cyclists are, they're not just like taking the stuff every day and they've got high amounts of the stuff in their blood system. It just kind of depends when they're when they're testing and when they're competing and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, honestly, when every time somebody else gets found out, you know, it's really no surprise. And I'm not saying that they all do, but I'm saying there's probably a good majority of people that do. I mean, it's just they're smart about it, I guess.
Hey, Second Street, tell them this. They even got some steroids where you can rub it on your skin like lotion. I'm serious, bro. I'm serious.
And you got it for $4.99, right?
I need to sell that.
That's them bootleg steroids, man.
So basically, you're saying I could put that on, and if they ask you what you're doing, you're just saying I'm not trying to be ashy. That's your excuse.
Man, Google.
I ain't trying to be ashy. Just let me be. Let me be. That's that. Speaking of bootleg and thievery, there's a big article that has come out about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that people have been going into Galaxy's Edge and stealing things such as knives, spoons, sporks, the thing you put your cup on, a cup holder. No, not a cup holder. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What?
What's
that thing that grandma puts on? Coaster. Okay,
Yeah.
listen to me.
Hey, as much as you pay to get in the damn place, is it really considered
That's what
stealing?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, man. Just like when you go to a hotel and they expect you to take like they expect you to take the toiletries and things like that.
Lord Callis was talking about stealing something from a hotel, and he turned around to look to make sure.
I steal from hotels all the time.
I'm not in the hotel. I'm at home.
Tar, shampoo, soap, all that stuff.
You just went to see, like, you just wanted to remind yourself what you took from the hotel.
I wanted to make sure no little ears are listening so that, I stay that positive influence.
No, but seriously, like when we used to go to Disneyland all the time, we'd go to the little Mexican food restaurant they had there, and I grab handfuls of the tapatio sauce they had there. Take it with me. I had to take some to go.
That's crazy.
But I mean, so the sporks, they don't even say like Disney or Star Wars. They're taking the sporks from the restaurant, and they've been selling for $150 to $350 on eBay. So who's who's dumber, to buy one of those things, or like people that are actually buying those things, or
I hear you.
People that are stealing?
Well, the people stealing them, they're just trying to recoup their entry fee. That's all that is.
But you got Disney connectors out there too, man. You got people that anything Disney they gonna buy.
Is this special silverware or something?
It looks like grandma's old black kettle metal. What is that called?
Okay, just like the regular old.
Like it's like an old beat up metal looking thing that they serve at the restaurant. I did a video on my channel about it and showed the eBay stuff, and it's legit. Like some people were smuggling out menus and coasters and anything that was on the wall that they could pull out, they were putting in there. They were walking out with them.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for those people who may never get to California or Florida, who know that they're not going to get over there. But then, I don't know, I guess you pay that much for it and you end up paying for your flight anyway, right?
Well, I'm just saying, like, can you imagine, you're with your son, you're like, Billy, put that silverware in your pocket. They ain't going to check you. They might check mama's purse. But it costs us $200 to get in this thing, and we gotta recoup some expenses. Dad, I can't get the plate. Just get it in, Billy. Gillian, see that, see all that stuff. Put the menu in there too. Put it in your shirt. They had that
idea before they went there too. It's not like it just popped
Yeah.
in their head. They
Yeah.
had that idea going there. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me some shit. I'm gonna get me some shit and put it
Well, they
right up
do
on
call the
eBay.
they do call the ride Smuggler's Run.
Exactly.
So I mean, LB, what's your thoughts, man?
Hey,
LB, what's going on, bro?
huh?
He feeling lonely.
Oh, I thought this stuff was tripping again.
It is.
Ain't nothing.
Now you sound like Optimus Prime. It's digitized.
Bruh, it's called karma. It's karma. It's karma. It's stuff
Anytime you go to talk, lonely, it just cuts off.
Oh my goodness.
It's back again.
Stop lying to yourself. Your ears are.
Bro, you sound horrible. I'm not gonna
It's pretty
You
choppy.
sound bad.
It's pretty choppy.
Maybe it's the bootleg internet. You got that bootleg internet?
He got it from me.
Piggybacking.
Yep.
Oh.
Hey, Lonely Banter might be in my place. I ain't at my place right now. That's why my stuff's so smooth right now, y'all.
I'm waiting for him to say something.
He froze.
He
Look at
can't.
Oh, he's
Look,
frozen.
you can't.
Bro, he froze. Look at him.
Oh man.
Man,
Poor guy. But look, so the last thing that was stolen out of the park was people were stealing the carpet mats that were in the Millennium Falcon
Jeez.
and other things. So they basically had to take them, roll them up, and somehow put them somewhere and get it
That's
out of the
crazy,
park.
man.
Oh
Get it
yeah,
out of the
dude.
park.
I've got a pair of pants, bro, that I could fit your house in my pocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good to go, man. The Jinkos, man. Remember the 90s?
That's
Oh
what I was
my
gonna
goodness.
say. What's
You mean the hammer
like the
pants?
hammer pants from the
Hey.
90s, man.
I used to work at a retail store, and you would be amazed what people can do. I seen big, fat, nasty looking women stuff a whole bunch of stuff under their dresses and walk off like ain't nothing under there. I mean, I wish I could record some of the stuff I seen when I worked retail. It'll blow your mind, bro.
How they figure out how to steal.
Yeah. I mean, expert thieves, man.
What I tell you about body shaming, bruh?
Now it's clear. There he is.
There we go.
Like have some manners, man, for the beautiful women out there, man.
Yes, hey, man, I like the thick women too, you know.
Wow, it's so the thing that started it all was the first guest that went to Galaxy's Edge received a limited edition book bag that it's really small. It's just kind of like it's not really like a fanny pack, but it's like a book bag, but it has two straps, but it's really small. It's enough for like a water bottle and a couple little things. Not very big, but it had Galaxy's Edge on it, and it had a couple little like pamphlets inside. People took those and sold them on eBay for, you ready for this? They sold $3,000 to $5,000.
Damn.
$3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah,
Now
that's
those bags are not available for purchase, so they were given out to like the first thing. That's why I told LB, because when it opens up in August, they're not gonna open it up to like the media and all them first. They're gonna open it up to annual pass holders in Florida. We just got to get on the list. So I was like, once that thing comes out, me and LB got to go, because if I can get a book bag and sell it for even $1,000, I would be fine. So
Yeah, bro.
be okay.
We won't even have to sell our souls for super chats anymore.
That's right. That's right. No super chat. None of that stuff. No jiggles, no wiggles, no nothing for super chats.
You gonna do a jiggle for $5 super chat dollars?
No, I'll jiggle my fingers just like that. That's it. That's all. Maybe Second Street Marvel will dance for something. I don't know.
No, no, man. Nah, but you know what? Give me a beer or two, you know?
There you go. There you go. And then so on top of all that, so they sold those bags. Then people started selling things and they had their big premiere this weekend where you didn't need a pass or you didn't need like a special pass to get in. And the news media was there, and certain people from that were there were like, "Man, this place is empty." People didn't even show up. So they built this Star Wars land, expecting over. They actually, one of the articles said that they actually hired more people for that day, and it was way under capacity. That they were shocked that most people just didn't even care.
It's dead.
Even people that were in Disneyland themselves, they were asking them. They're like, "You heading to Star Wars Land?" They're like, "It's just." They're like, "It's just a cash grab." Like that's what people were saying. They didn't even care to ride the ride. They didn't even care. So. What does that say about the state of Star Wars, or is it just because it's summer, it's hot? Is it
No.
just because it's like it costs so much money to get into place?
No.
Is it just because people just don't care anymore?
Yes.
I think
I
people,
saw-
I
I
think
saw
people are
this
probably
one-
liars.
Yeah, I saw this one video where the guy, and he actually titled it like, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is empty, something like that. And he was coming, I don't know, he had to fly there. I don't know where he was coming from, but he did the vlog of him going to Galaxy's Edge, and it looked packed. So I don't understand why he titled it that it was empty when in his video, and he was excited to be there. I don't know if it was just clickbait or what, but everybody, he was showing the people that were there, and it was packed. So I don't know.
Taking
Kinda
lessons
crazy.
from Fatal J.
No, man.
Oh man,
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. But I'm gonna tell you the
You
truth.
tell the truth.
Everything is so. Hey, it's so saturated, man. Star Wars is so saturated. I can remember you had to wait some years on down the line to get another Star Wars movie. Now they back to back to back. Now we got Star Wars cartoons, Star Wars online shows, Star Wars plays, Star Wars, all this stuff, man. It's saturated. People are through with it, man. It's dead. It's dead, bro.
But Fatal, if it was taken care of, nobody would care. The problem is
Right.
that they shitted on it. If they respected the foundation, the beginning, if they took care of the legacy, if they didn't name it the EU, I'm sorry, the legacy, if they didn't name the EU the legacy, then people would still care. The fact of the matter is they took what we loved and then try to tell us that don't love this anymore, love this shit. And that's the problem. Give us, they could have easily made the two work together, but they didn't. And that's the problem.
And you're
Otherwise,
right.
it would be, I'm good with Star Wars all day. I could I could live in Star Wars.
Callis,
I
you're
want
right.
my original Star Wars.
But
Yeah.
Callis, you right. And I'm gonna tie this in with Second Street Marvel. Second Street just came out with a video this week talking about it's 1,000 Spider-Man comic books. Now, when you start doing that type of stuff, guess what's gonna happen to the market? It's gonna go down. It's gonna keep going down, and then they're gonna try to figure out, well, what's going on? It's too much going on. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Second Street Marvel, you know about the comic game better than me. Is the comic market going down since Marvel is putting all these books out like that?
I honestly don't know. I don't pay attention to numbers and stuff. I just read comic books, and as I'm sitting there reading through Amazing Spider-Man and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Spider-Man Life Story and Symbiote Spider-Man, and I could go on. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there reading, and I'm getting confused about what I'm reading. I'm like, which issue was before this? Because there's a lot of prominent characters in each one of these issues, like the same characters in all of them, like in these couple of issues. It's like, which one was it I was just reading?
Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, you made a good point. At that point, when you don't know which way to go, is you gonna give up on some of the books?
Yeah, well, some of them are coming to an end because some of them are miniseries. And the thing is, like, if they're gonna do, like, they got 3 miniseries going on right now. Why don't you just do 1 miniseries? Then when that one ends, do another one. Then when that one ends, do another one.
And
I mean, I
that's
guess-
exactly. That's
I guess either
exact-
way they're getting my money, but
But that's exactly how people feel about Star Wars. It's so
Mhm.
much going on, and like Lord Callis said, it's not getting taken care of. So people like forget it.
Yeah, see, but what Second is talking about is the continuity. So he's saying that, you know, they're putting out so much and they're not keeping it in line. So that's quite different from what's happening in Star Wars. They're not. It's the one thing that Disney does do well, or is trying to do well, is the continuity. They're trying to make sure that they keep one storyline. So with that, I can respect it. But and that's not the oversaturation. The problem with Star Wars is that they're not taking care of the story. So they're keeping it in line, right? So we're not getting crazy offshoots that aren't that don't relate back to the source. But the problem is that they haven't taken care of the source.
Okay.
And that's
right.
Yeah. LB say something.
All right. To be honest with you, like this whole Galaxy's Edge Disneyland thing, it's a bunch of foolishness to me because, for one, like Disney World, not with Disney World, the one that's going Hollywood in Disney World is larger than the one at Disneyland, and Disney World is way more popular than Disneyland. Like I'm looking at their attendance for last year. Example, Magic Kingdom, which is only one of at Disney World, gets over 2 million more people going than Disneyland, and the park where Star Wars Galaxy is going to be at Disney World Studios is Hollywood Studios, right?
Man,
Yeah.
you're talking truth, but right now you breaking up, and I want to hear what you're saying.
I'm breaking up.
Because when you start talking
Yeah, it's
numbers,
pretty-
I like
pretty-
to hear that.
That's all that time he talked about Theta J.
It's broken up pretty bad.
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Go
I'll
ahead.
come right back.
Okay. I mean, I do understand that completely because me and LB live right next to Disney World. So we always have, you know, they make it, if you live next to Disney World, they make it really cheaper to get a season pass to just kind of be part of Disney over there. And the Galaxy's Edge land will be a lot bigger. And they said, because you could walk up to it now and see exactly where it's going on. Over the Millennium Falcon, I think the last time I was there, they just had a big drape over it, so people just didn't have to like go up and snap pictures and stuff like that. But so it will be bigger, but according to many of the reports was that they did not get the people that they were expecting.
Yeah, well, somebody else, I think you talked about it too, and I know Rhodes Rants did in his video. The fact of them wanting to not include the legacy characters in this land, and that was a poor business choice.
That's
man.
where they
This is
messed up.
supposed to be. Yeah, they messed up really bad. I get it. I understand the reason why they don't want people or outsiders to cosplay there. That is about safety. So though it sucks because I would love to go there revving out or with my, I would love to go there in costume, but I can't. But I understand that. That's about the safety. But for them not to have the legacy characters there, not to have Darth Vader there, not to have Obi-Wan there, not to have Luke there, not to have Han Solo and Lando there, not to have Princess Leia, that is ridiculous. This should be Star Wars land. It should be encompassing all 9 films. Anything, and then any offshoots, because we're going there to live in the Star Wars universe, not live in the sequel trilogy. So the fact that they chose to go that route is ridiculous. They should have slapped whoever it was that said, let's do this, because that was the dumbest damn business move that they could have made.
I agree.
I agree completely. And my thing is too that they've made it so difficult. So they opened Galaxy's Edge with only one ride working. Half the stuff isn't even open yet. The only thing that they have open is the money stuff, which is $75 for a flight of beer. The next mixed drink, the alcoholic drink, is $52, and it's very expensive. Then to eat dinner there will cost you about $35 to $55 a person. to go eat there. If you want to buy a lightsaber for your kid, it's about $200. If you want to buy some other things, you know, it's extremely expensive. Even somebody was even complaining that the shirts, they're selling the t-shirts at Galaxy's Edge, inside Galaxy, they're more expensive than the rest of the park, like $35 for a t-shirt. So many people that were commenting on my video were saying, hey, I was just there. All it is a big shop. He goes, people were saying, I walked through it, is a trinket shop. And yeah, nobody was there. The only time people were there was people were crowding in to get a photo with the Millennium Falcon, but they didn't want to go in anything else.
But this is what I'm thinking of.
And that's a legacy thing. Just throwing that out there. The Millennium Falcon was a legacy artifact.
But it's not enough. It's not enough. Because when you think about Star Wars, it's 3 people you think of. Who are the 3 people that I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Luke, Han, and Leia. Yeah,
that's it. And if you won't have them there, what do you have?
Yeah, you have another universe without them.
Yeah.
I was thinking R2D2, but that's just.
I always throw C-3PO in there, but you know.
Well, if you have to go 5. Well,
yeah. And then it's Chewbacca and all them. That's just. Lord Callis, I believe you hit I think you hit it perfectly with that. When people are going to the park and saying, like, you could read the reviews. People are like, I went to Galaxy's Edge, or they say call it Star Wars Land. They're like, I didn't even recognize the people there because they've got characters like the guy that runs the Millennium Falcon now. It's oh my gosh, Hobo or whatever his name is. Yeah, so you don't even know. It was a guy from. It's a guy from the Clone Wars cartoon. He was a smuggler. The only person
I know that did the Millennium Falcon was Lando and Chewbacca.
Yeah, well, they're not there.
and Akbar too. Didn't Akbar take it over too?
No.
Nah.
See, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Akbar.
I'm tripping, man. I ain't seen the trilogy in a while, bro.
Hey, can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah. We don't see you though.
Yeah.
Midnight's Edge, Tom said something really cool. He said, let's not forget there was even less Vader in Rogue One original too. Yeah, but that's what made the movie.
I'm a Midnight Edge fan. Midnight Edge, what's up, baby?
Rey flew it. Maybe they'll have Rey there because she flew the Falcon.
Hey, I want to ask y'all something.
Hold on. I want
Rey
to
is there.
talking about what I was talking about as far as the theme park. If you don't mind.
Yeah, go.
Go ahead, my brother.
No, what I was saying was because the one at Disney World at Hollywood Studios is going to be larger. It's going to have more stuff. It's going to have a hotel and a whole other experience. And like people also seem to forget, like more people go to Disney World than they go to Disneyland. Like it's a whole different experience there. So like when it opens at Disney World, which I doubt, but if the attendance was low and stuff going to it, then I would say, okay, then we need to be concerned and like say, okay, this was a waste of time. But like I said, like for example, Magic Kingdom has 2 million more people that go to that specific park than they go to Disneyland, and Hollywood Studios has 11 million people, which is lower than Disneyland. But I mean, Disney World is just a whole different experience than Disneyland. And I mean, the numbers shows.
You're absolutely right about that, Banter. But you have to remember that Anaheim is the home of Star Wars. This is where it's filmed. This is where Lucas is. Everything is. Oh, that's where isn't that where the first celebration was? So with respect to Disneyland and Disney World, I see the argument. Absolutely, I'd say yes. But when you're talking Star Wars, as an entity separate from Disneyland, that attraction itself should bring people in. The fact that this is Star Wars, the fact that they opened it there first, a whole 3-4 months earlier than Disney World. Granted, we know it's going to be larger, but to see it unsuccessful, and I don't know if we can deem it unsuccessful, but to see it unsuccessful in Anaheim, that should be worrisome for them. Before you even worry about Disney World,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, attendance being low. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a concern. But what I'm saying is, when it opens at Disney,
and if it's like Disneyland, then I would say okay. Then there's a big time problem, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, more people go to Disney World than they go to Disneyland. So I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like as far as a lot of the people, the bloggers and the who's doing this clip and Edge flop, all that stuff. It's like okay, maybe you saw a video or whatever, and you see a bunch of people there. Like okay, they're not really doing the full-time opening. They've been doing soft openings, special openings, you know, all type of crazy stuff. So, I mean, it's easy to say that, okay, I went there and there wasn't a lot of people there. You could go there first thing in the morning or right after it got done raining, you know, all kind of things just to say that.
Yeah.
I think my point was that they were expecting a lot more than what they got. That was
you're talking about fans and stuff?
Yeah, they were expecting a lot more people that didn't show up, and they were actually disappointed that it wasn't the super all, you know, like they had like the extra line thing set up that they didn't need. They had the extra help there that they didn't need. They had all those things. So
man, I'm gonna tell you something.
Bro, is it going to be on topic of what we're talking about right now?
LB killed me before I talk. He always do that. But look,
I'm just trying to make sure because I had another point to make.
Well, I'm gonna let you make your. All right, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead,
what
man.
I wanted to say is like, if Galaxy's Edge is flopping, I hope the same thing happens at Disney World. So when I go, I don't have to wait in line for 5 hours to get in there.
I don't think that's gonna ever happen, man. Disney World, I always wanted to go there, man.
Yo, wait. Sergio here says that he's been to Galaxy's Edge 3 times now, and he left his review on 3PO's page. So
how was it, Sergio? Sergio, how was
it? He left me I think it's the same guy who left me a giant book, saying that it's just a cash grab type thing, where everything is way too expensive and
yeah. Might be a tax write-off thing. You don't never know.
Tax write-off.
So they're gonna build a whole section at the theme park for a tax write-off, Fatal J?
No, but bro, I believe they do that. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm serious. You have a lot of movies out there, like just let's just say movies. The movie look completely garbage.
How are you comparing a movie to a theme park, bro?
Just let me show you, man.
No, you're not continuing with this foolishness. No,
he's shutting it down.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this.
Shut it down.
No, bro.
I'm gonna put it like this.
Drunk, moderate, drunk. Come on.
I'm dying to hear this because he's the same guy who thought Dwayne Wade was still in Chicago. So.
Man, I don't watch basketball like that, man. I don't watch basketball like that, man. But this is all I was saying. I'm seeing a trend with Star Wars. The movies are not doing that good. The Last Jedi didn't do what it was expected to do.
You talk about tax write-off.
See, I'm trying to get to the point. You ain't letting me talk, bro. You ain't letting me talk. Can I talk now, Mr. Banter?
I hope.
I can't hear him.
All right,
take advantage of it. Take advantage. Go ahead.
Yeah, go quick.
Nah, but that's all I'm saying, man. I'm seeing a trend, especially with Drunk just said. You said they didn't have an expectation of the numbers that came. I'm hearing the same thing with the movies. I'm hearing the same thing with the toys. So can we pretty much say at this point that Star Wars is done? Can we pretty much say Star Wars is dead?
No, it's not dead. It's not dead because celebrations. I mean, the Jedi tickets.
Right.
The Jedi Master ticket was $900. It sold out within 2 hours. The 4-day pass sold out within 4 hours. So Star Wars is not dead. The problem is that they're not. They have to start taking clues. People want to love Star Wars. When they announced that this theme park was coming, I mean, I know all of us who are fans, we were psyched out of our minds. And then they wait until it's, opening or a few weeks before it's opening to tell us that there won't be any of our favorite characters there. So it's that kind of of business that Disney's doing that keeps going one way and then it goes the other, one way or the other. But it's not dead. Believe that it's not dead.
But this is what I don't understand. Who is they marketing to?
Right.
But that's the problem. They're lost right now. They're trying to find instead of just admitting that they were wrong in some of these business decisions. Not to say that everything is bad, because some of the comics are good, some of the books are good. So not to say that everything is bad. And then you've got other people out there who are keeping the fandom alive, you know, from the Sabers to the fan films, so on and so forth. So we love Star Wars. We want to continue to love Star Wars.
Careless,
Yeah.
you're right. It may be good comics. It might be good cartoons, but people want a good Star Wars movie.
I know that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that Lord Callis is saying is that I agree with him. I will always love Star Wars. I will it was a huge part of my life. It was part of my family's life. Look, I mean, I still got people buy me. This is all gifts, you know, that people buy me, and it's appreciated. But it's in a weird place right now. It's in a really weird place that I hope that they can crawl out. You know what I mean? Like it's in a really weird place. But the thing that I love the most is when I watch Lord Callis's videos and he's talking about Darth Bane, he's talking about these things, and like, you know, you can get into these books. It stirs up my excitement again. Could I ever forgive Rian Johnson? I don't know. Like, he destroyed my favorite character. He destroyed my favorite character.
He will never be forgiven.
And but you know, and then going to Second Street Marvel when he does his I mean, like, that stuff excites me because I could never have enough Star Wars and getting into the lore and getting into all this stuff and getting in all this. But you know, I just it's in a weird place right now. Yeah. And the thing is, what we're doing is we're calling out the bull crap. And if we see, look, let me just be honest. When the I don't know if you guys associate, I know you know what the Phantom Menace is, but I consider myself a member, not naming anybody else. I consider myself a member of the Phantom Menace. When we first came together and we started calling out, we were laughed at. They're like, oh, this group is a small minority. This group is so small. Like, they're toxic. They're this. Just leave them alone. Then a year into it, now like Ron Howard and others are saying, you know, this group is like, you know, they're the ones that got Solo 2 not happening, and they're the ones that wrecked. So now we're being blamed for like shutting down movies. And now we're getting like to the point where other people see that we're calling out this bull crap so much that they're trying to make videos against the movement. They're trying to make everything against their podcasts and everything. They're trying to just say anything in their power to stop this movement because we're calling out the identity bull crap that they're throwing into Star Wars to try to make it something that's not Star Wars.
What's crazy about that though, Drunk, is you've got some of them that would absolutely subscribe to the ideas from the Menace, if not for the fact that they're on payroll and trying to defend their check, because that's a lot of when you see that somebody is unshackled, if you will, or you know, like your John Boyega, who's about to, you know, be able to come off of, once 9 is done, he's no longer affiliated with Star Wars. So he starts to give you a little bit of an inkling of how he truly feels. Hamill's been doing it from day one. You know, he's had no filter from day one. But General Akbar, right, the actor that played Akbar, and so on and so forth. You've got a lot of people who absolutely, you know, subscribe to those ideas, but can't say anything about it. And because it will affect their livelihood. And so, not to say that you can't blame them for that, because that's you know, that's how they make their money. It's how they support their families, how they pay their mortgage. So they have to stand behind that, unfortunately. But what has to happen is that we have to continue to push forward so that we can make sure that people understand where it is that we're coming from. That there's not all, just like this show, we're not all the same person, right? We're not that they think we are. We have the idea that we love Star Wars and we just want to see Star Wars be the best that Star Wars can be.
I think one of the big things, like Fatal J was talking about like who are they marketing to? You know, like for one thing, I mean, you got to take into consideration that Disney is a company, you know, and they've got stockholders and all that stuff. So their obligation to their stockholders is to make money. So what are they doing is they want to draw in as many fans as they can. They got to bring in more. So how do they do that? They try to they try to do more to get more people in. But the thing that they did in the meantime was they took all their hardcore fans, a lot of them, and alienated a lot of them as well at the same time. So that's I mean, there's really, I mean, it's hard to make a way back from that because they've already done that, and now you've basically got to turn them back around.
So Second Street
to get into it.
Hold on, let me read the super chat real quick. I want to thank Echo Base Network for the $4.99 super chat.
Appreciate you.
Cass, can you please put his channel link in the chat? He says another white privileged male here to help balance things out. LOL. Do any of you see Disney course correcting or doubling down on what they have? Now, before you guys answer that question, we just bumped up to about 40 people watching now, and people in the chat are asking about that Star Wars girl. I just want you guys to know at the beginning of the show, we took some time out to talk about that, to talk about Anna's sister. Yeah. And Cass has been putting the GoFundMe in there as well throughout the chat. We gave out all the information that we know. If you want more information on if you want any more information on Anna and her sister and the things that happened, please follow her Twitter account or follow Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. He is he's giving the information out. So just so everybody in the chat knows that we took some time at the beginning of the stream to talk about that and get that stuff out. So thank you so much. Thank you, Echo Base Network. So, oh man, Matthew Kaddish is here. Welcome, Matthew. Man, a he's a professional author, has just come into the chat. Yeah. Matthew Kaddish is here. He writes sci-fi novels.
On Twitter,
He writes for Bleeding Fool and writes for several of the magazines that we use in our YouTube videos. So, hey, man, thanks for stopping by, my friend.
Thank you.
We always get some dope people stopping by, man.
So, always. So, would you guys like to answer? Who would like to go first? Do you think Disney's can course correct or double down on what they have?
That's a good question.
I think they can course correct. But I mean, are they gonna? The chances are they're probably gonna double down because they want to make money.
Yeah, I think what they're gonna do is split everything in half. Cater to the hardcore fans with the little TV shows, and then cater to the whatevers with the big movies. I just got this strange feeling that's what they're gonna do.
It's really gonna come down to the money at the end of the day. So because I mean, it's a publicly held company. So at the end of the day, they have to answer to shareholders. So whichever way the dollars point, that's the way that ultimately they will go. So right now, it's just not enough. The balance is here. So they're not doubling down one way or the other necessarily because they're still trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. Are they going this way? They're heading this way right now. But if the money's not there, they're going to switch. They're going to switch and come back. Hopefully, hopefully, and that's why we just got to continue to make noise and let them know that this is just not. It's just not Star Wars.
And then there's no telling what we're gonna get out of this new girl that took over. What's her name again?
See, there you got more fake news. She ain't take over anything, bro.
What did you say?
Kathleen Kennedy's still in charge. And I just made Second Street Marvel throw up when I said Kathleen Kennedy. So, I see that. Yeah, she was just a new hire, but the sad thing is she doesn't really have a resume. She was hired for I think video production and things like that. But basically, she's probably going to be Kathleen Kennedy's right hand man, and that's how that goes. Oh, right. Stevie J Reviews. Cass, would you mind putting Stevie J Reviews link in the chat? Thank you for the $7.99 super chat. He says, I love the stream, guys. LB, not so lonely tonight. JJ could have fixed Star Wars, but Johnson had left far too much of a mess. Have a great night. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, they left such a big night. And on top of that, thank you, Stevie J Reviews, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And as you know, the super chats all go to a great cause, you know, as it goes. So before we get into the black questions, ooh.
Hold on. Before you move on, I'm still trying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was coming to you, LB. I was coming because you've got like 2 screens up. You got like your avatar's up, and then your face is up, and one of them's muted, but we can still hear you. Can you guys all see that?
Yeah.
That's impressive, man.
How did he pull that off? How did he pull that off?
Look, I just want to know the story of Fatal J's tax write-off story for a whole theme park. That's what I've been waiting on.
Man, look here. I'm trying to figure out how you got 2 avatars up, bro.
One thing at a time.
Bro.
I need to know about.
You know what?
I
Hey,
need to know about your.
at the end of the day, Banter, you can't talk about my stuff no more, because my stuff can't do half the stuff you doing.
No.
But you on some futuristic stuff. You on some future.
All right, so let me just stop for a second, because these two are fighting, and
Cass got a super chat.
I want to say, oh my gosh, Cass, thank you so much for the 29 PHP. I don't know what that is, but thank you. She's a great moderator. She already moderated for us, and we couldn't do this show without her. And anything that Cass wants from us, anything she wants us to promote, we will do without any problem. Thank you for the PHP. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna take it somewhere.
We rock with Cass.
That's it.
Yeah,
we
awesome.
take the PHP. That's for sure. She is awesome, and we couldn't do this without you. So last night, the Lonely Banter was going on a live stream at 8 o'clock Saturday, and he had hyped this thing up for about 4 days. Man, the man had the best thumbnail. I even told him, I was texting, I was like, dude, your thumbnail is incredible. Expect. Okay, it's Philippine money. All right, thank you, Cass. All the way from the Philippines. Much love to you, girl. Man, I love Philippines.
What's up?
And so he had this awesome thumbnail. And I'm texting him. I'm like, bro, your thumbnail's going to bring in 100 people alone to watch your stream. And he's just tweeting about it. He's putting it out. He's all set. So he can't even talk right now. He's so fluttered. So the stream is counting down, and I'm in the chat, and there's all these people in the chat, and they're just waiting, man. And they're typing. They're like, this is going to be good. Oh, we love Lonely Banter's live stream. He's going to be talking about ice cream and everything. And and all of a sudden, like his avatar just went shh, like it like disappeared, and it faded to black. And people in the chat were like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be so cool," and this and that. And then all of a sudden, the room went. It just disappeared. It just disappeared.
Just snapped away.
And I was like, "Hold on a second. Let me read this super chat before you hear it gets even better." Micah, my man Micah, who lives by us, Lonely Banter. He lives.
What up, Micah?
He's a Central Florida person. This is for the kids and for Anna's sister. Cheers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your super chat, Micah. Man, I really appreciate you. And yeah, I gave I don't like to talk about donations, but we gave a nice donation to Anna's thing today in her GoFundMe. So, and it looks like it's getting to the thing, and so all our prayers and thoughts are with Anna.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. But so the whole thing disappeared. So the room just disappeared, and people are like, they're starting to get on Twitter. What happened? What happened? Is he okay? Is he all right? So then LB had to go into Google Hangouts because he was going through Streamlabs, and then he came up, But then the problem was you couldn't hear what he was saying, and then it was all blurry. And I was like, oh man, like I gotta help my friend out. Like, what are we gonna do here? So he sends me he's trying to get it to work. And people are in the chat. They're sending super chats. They're like, here's for a new microphone. Here's for a new this. Here's for a new that. And then he sends a Google Hangout. And so I come in and I'm like, y'all, you doing okay? It was me and Sean. I was like, you doing all right? And he's like, man, I can't get this to work and nothing's working. And then Fatal J enters the chat.
Bro, I was in the gym, bro. And I was just listening. And I said, man, I'm not going to come in. But let me tell you something about Drunk. Drunk is an instigator. Because I'm going to tell you what Drunk said, and I fell for it. Drunk said, I know Fatal J is to come up here. And I stopped working out just to come in.
Man, it
Good,
was the funniest stream I have seen in a long. People were saying, man, they were saying so many things in the chat. All you could do was laugh, but they were sending him like super chats and sending him love. And
they sent him a lot of money though,
and sending him stuff, and it was just like, because you know what was funny in the DMs, he goes, man, Streamlabs is awesome, man. We're gonna get Streamlabs going. It's easy to do, and then 24 hours later, Streamlabs suck.
But you know what? It might be his niche. Have the camera messed up because everybody had a good time, bro.
Yeah, once his camera got working, everybody left.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody had a good time laughing and stuff, man. It might be your thing, Belton. I'm just keeping it real, bro.
You have anything to say for yourself?
Man, it was an embarrassing moment for me, bro. Like I said, like I set up so many stuff. Like I had a whole format of the show, man. Like we was ready to go. Like you gonna think I was Rachel Maddow. Like you gonna think I was Don Lemon or somebody. Like what's going on, and then it didn't work. And I was like, man.
It was so funny because he was like, I bought this microphone for $29 and it don't work. I had to put my other microphone back.
Yeah, bro. This microphone going right back to Amazon tomorrow. I already got the return label at UPS waiting for me.
There it is, man. There it is. All right. So the stuff everyone's been waiting for. So to ask my black friends, black culture,
Drunk,
nerd culture, and everything.
This will be a good idea too. How about asking the chat if they have some black questions for us?
I did. I threw it out there, but no one wanted to ask because, they're gonna let me do it, and I'll be the one that looks.
Okay. You got a super chat.
Like I'm racist or something. I don't know. Like whatever they're gonna think like that. So as far as like black cinema movies, do you think that it is important, or do you think that is being oversaturated with movies that show stories of black people being racially profiled in the movies, and such as like police brutality things, even going back to like slavery films? Do you think that is important to keep manufacturing these type of films?
No.
Or do you think it's causing a problem?
It's causing a problem. I'm gonna tell you from my experience, Drunk. From my experience, when I see movies like that, slavery movies every year, police brutality movies every year, I'm not speaking for all the blacks, but for some blacks out there, it make them feel a certain way. And the most emotion that they get out of the movies is anger. There's no way black people are watching those type of movies and say, oh man, I'm happy to watch this movie. No. And then on the other side, and I'm not saying all, but on the other side, you might get a superiority type of feeling when you watch those movies. That's just my thoughts. And now we got crickets.
Restate the question. Restate the question.
The question is, do you think that you think it's a good idea for Hollywood to keep making films that show, minorities, black youth, things like that, being like portrayed, being racially profiled, being chased by the police, those type of things, even as far back as like slavery films, to show like even though it's historical things with a Hollywood spin on them. Do you think those are? Do you think they should keep making them film? The reason why I brought that up, there was a show that was brought up on Netflix that just came out about the 4 young black men that were wrongfully accused in New York of raping, I believe, and murdering a young white girl. And it seems that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just throwing out the question. It seems that those type of films do kind of get hyped up and been brought up when in the actual news itself, there are cases of white cops killing young black men or minorities as themselves. Do you think that helps the problem? Do you think it brings awareness to the problem for people, or do you think it just stirs up more issues?
Yeah, I mean, well,
it's a lot to chew on. I know it's a lot to chew on.
I don't think at this point there's any sort of we're in any where it's oversaturated or anything like that. I just think that people should be free to tell stories. So just making sure that something is, if it's historical, then it needs to be historically accurate. That's the only sort of criteria I would put on it. I think that people should be free to tell whatever story they want to tell. If it's in your heart, you want to get it out there, you want to express it.
Well, what I'm asking you as a black man with children, is that something you would take your children to see, to say, look, this is how it is, or this is how it was?
Okay.
Or is that something that you feel you should educate your children on? I'm going to educate my children on my own, and I don't want Hollywood doing it.
Well, both. So it's a tough question. So, like,
if it's too deep, man, you don't have to answer.
It's not deep at all. I listen. I like to talk. So the thing is, like, so growing up, we used to watch Eyes on the Prize, for example, right? And it's something that we used to watch at school. We used to watch at home. Remember, my parents grew up through the civil rights movement. So that was something that was very important to them. It was something very important to them to pass to their children, to let them know about the culture, what you went through. So that's why I'm saying, when it's about, if it's historically accurate, I don't think we should be shying away from that. I just don't think we should be using that as a means for keeping ourselves where we are right now. If you're looking back at it to say, all right, let's look at this to move forward, then I think it's awesome. If we're using it to stay stagnant or to remain in place and just be angry about what happened, then I think that's where the problem comes. Looking back at it to say, oh, this shit happened, I think that's necessary. That's absolutely necessary. And I don't just mean for black people, I just mean history in general. You need it. That, and I can tie it back into Star Wars. You don't let the past die. You have to look back at it to say, this shit happened. Now let's not let this happen again. Right? So that's the importance of it. For me, is say, damn, that did happen, but not to say that happened to me, then you did it, like, and to use it as a crutch. I like to use it, or I think that it's very important that we use it as, from a educational standpoint, if you will, to know, my parents lived through this shit, they actually lived through that shit. So it's important that I let my children know that, yes, they did live through that. Yes, it's better for me now. And yes, I'm trying to put you in a place where you don't have to go through that, and you should be doing the same for your children.
Yeah. Who's next?
Well, I think kind of a lot that kind of goes along with that kind of stuff is, it really depends on, like you guys are saying, like this, like the historical accuracy, if it's something that's historical, but also, I mean, just like a lot of movies, the filmmaker who's actually making it, are they putting messages in there that aren't accurate to what the movie is supposed to be portraying and things like that, putting a certain slant to it. So, I mean, a lot of that comes down to the individual filmmakers as well. Cause I mean, you can even see in like Oliver Stone and a lot of the movies he makes, he puts a lot of stuff in there without without necessarily laying it on thick. He puts things in there, but not in. And like his movies aren't like historically accurate or anything like that. He don't make those kind of movies. But he don't really like. You can tell how he feels without him laying it on too thick. So I think a lot of that kind of depends on the filmmaker who's doing it.
LB.
I think they covered what I was going to have to say. I agree with both, definitely. I don't agree with Fatal J, but I agree with Lord Callis and Second Street Marvel.
Because a lot of times, being in a diverse home myself, there's two different. I could see two different types of family. So, for instance, when they make a film, portraying a Trayvon Martin incident, that film about the young black man that was shot at the train station. That I thought that was probably one of the best ones, because they basically took his text messages and the video cams and recreated that terrible tragedy that happened.
That's Fruitvale Station, I think, right?
Yeah. But see, this is the thing, Drunk.
But what I'm saying is, when you see it from two different types of culture, you see one part of the culture getting angry, the other part of the culture saying it's been like, they look up and say, the truth has been inflated to cause division and anger. You get what I'm saying?
But
so it's like, so if they're making a movie about white cops killing black people, are they? Do you think that sometimes they do that to cause more division, or to bring awareness to the?
It's always to cause more division. We don't ever have movies about blacks and whites coming together as a whole. We don't ever have them type of movies. And this is
Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans was absolutely that kind of movie.
Yeah, and that's an awesome movie. I love that movie. But
damn.
Well, if you love that movie, how did you just magically forget?
And then
That's Fatal J, man. That's our Fatal J. Wouldn't do the stream without him.
This is my thing, though. When it comes to slavery movies, if you're gonna talk about slavery, can we talk about both sides of slavery? Can we talk about the slave revolts that happened? Like, for instance, they came out with a movie called Birth of a Nation. Have anybody seen that movie about Nat Turner? That's an awesome movie, man. And
very sad.
Yeah. But he did his thing, though. And Drunk, you go to Haiti all the time. We never had movies about the big slave revolt that happened in Haiti. Those slaves took over their whole country. They took their country back. Why are we not getting these type of movies? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing about, like, and Micah, man, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, "Tell it, Jay," and I'm sorry I've been gone, Drunk 3PO. I got you. Nah, man, thank you, my friend. We're gonna meet at Disney Springs one of these days, my friend, and we're gonna sit down and just have some conversation.
What up, Mike?
You're awesome. You're an awesome man. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The $2 super chat.
You got some other black questions in the chat too.
I missed them.
You got
you got a ton of them, man. You got a ton of them.
That's good.
You're gonna have to scroll back, bro. Like, you got.
All right, black question. I told him to tag me. It's hard to see. Who is your favorite black actor?
Oh, that's easy for me.
Oh,
Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. Well.
Samuel Jackson. And if it ain't Samuel Jackson, Idris Elba.
I'm trying.
Dang,
What
man, whatever
about
happened to the days of Sidney Poitier?
That's old school, man.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, that's kind of what I grew up on too. You know, I mean, my father, I grew up watching movies and everything. You know, my father was a film buff and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, so we're at the theater a lot. But yeah, I mean, that was certainly, I've certainly watched a lot of his movies when I was growing up, and I mean, classic stuff.
Yeah, he'll get out.
I'm gonna go with
Regina King. Perp said she's awesome. Then, but see, this, I don't know if I could ever. It's like the same for me when people ask me what's my favorite food.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
Like
right.
Denzel's the gold standard. Like,
yeah, my man.
Yeah, he's good.
I love Denzel.
Idris Elba is pretty badass too. Because in that movie Molly's Game, there's that one
Yeah.
scene. There's that one scene, like every time I watch it, where he's just sitting there going off, and I'm like, dude, like I get goosebumps every time I see that scene. I'm like, dude, he knocked that shit out of the park.
He
Yeah.
cold, man. Hey, y'all ever seen that movie, Prometheus, where he was in?
Yeah.
He's
That's sci-fi movie,
amazing.
right?
Now, this cat is from England, and he took
Yeah.
on a Texan accent, and he nailed it. I'm from Texas.
he's
He
amazing.
nailed it, bro.
Hey,
All right,
you
here's
got some
here's
more
a
questions.
yeah, here's a good one. Why black question? It says, why do black people not like mayonnaise?
That's from
I don't have a problem with mayonnaise, but
So that's just a rumor.
No, I don't like mayonnaise.
yeah.
The other side of my family don't like mayonnaise either.
I don't have a problem with it. But like, it's not one of those things where like, man, I need me some mayonnaise, bro. Like, no.
But you know, like us white people, we put mayonnaise on our like sometimes
Yeah.
they put it on their French fries, their
Yeah.
chicken.
No.
It's just like it goes on everything.
I wouldn't say
Chicken.
I
Don't I-
dislike
yeah.
it, but it wouldn't be my go-to condiment. Let's say
There
that.
you go.
I'm a bullet type of man.
Like,
I don't dislike it, but
like, bro.
but I take mayonnaise over Miracle Whip all
Like-
day.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's not
Oh
mayonnaise.
If you
Lord!
look at mayonnaise, right? They have recipes for food dishes on the mayonnaise jars. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Have that.
But you can't
They
have
actually-
potato salad without mayonnaise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
All
Exactly.
right, and we love them damn potato salad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This question is, was Black Panther a good movie?
Nah, he's kidding. No, I saw it.
Here's one. Were you guys interested in seeing Shaft this many
No.
years later?
No.
I really wasn't.
I mean,
I love the first movie.
I haven't been to see it yet, but I actually wanted to go see it. But I mean, because like 2000 Shaft that John Singleton did, I mean, that's probably like one of
Yeah.
the best like reboot remakes or whatever of an old 70s
I agree.
TV show or movie that's ever been made. I mean, that movie was badass.
I agree.
Black question. Why SJWs and critics hate the movie Shaft? Why did you think the SJWs and the critics hated the movie
Because
Shaft?
of that one scene in the trailer.
I can answer this easily. For one, Samuel L. Jackson is in the movie, so like that's why they paid attention to the movie. So like they usually don't review or pay attention to black movies, right? So a lot of the stuff that's in this Shaft movie is in black movies. So them seeing it in like a mainstream movie, like as far as the gay jokes, the picking on him, the mama's boy, you know, all of that humor that's in it, it was a shock to them. So that's why they critically panned it. They critically pan every Tyler Perry movie, and I'm not saying Tyler Perry movies are good, but this is what they do. Unless it's a slave movie, they're critically panning black movies.
I don't know how you do this, but when you talk, your avatar pops up, but we could see you talking in your other box.
I know what he's doing. He's bootlegging it right now. He's got one thing. He's got his audio going through one and the camera coming through the other.
All right, this question, I
I've
have
had to rig
no
some stuff
idea.
together.
I have no idea what this is about. I'm gonna try to read it in the best English I can. Black question: do you believe that Cheddar Man real was black?
What?
Yeah, I you got me on that. That's some woke blackness there, bro. I don't know what that
Who?
is.
Cheddar Man?
I'm like, who?
Is he a rapper or something?
I don't know. All right, we'll move on. I didn't know that one. I thought I knew that one. I have to scroll back down. Let's see.
Because I
Matt,
think
Someone said
Max
kill
is-
Whitey in the chat.
Do,
That was nice.
do we think or find Brie Larson sexy?
Oh, sexy or sexist?
Sexy is what it says.
Oh,
That's from Matthew Caddish.
she average. She average.
Man, she just another white girl. Like,
She
like
average.
you see her when she made up and stuff. She just regular.
I
Like,
don't know.
when she has makeup on, she looks decent. Depending on how her makeup and hair is done. Other than that, like if I saw Brie Larson walking down the street, I'm not gonna give her a second look.
Real talk.
True
Right.
that. True
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
she's not ugly. She's not unattractive. She just, you know.
She average. She
Yeah.
average.
Yeah, I'm about eyes
Huh.
and lips. So, and you know, Those are the first two things
Hey,
that attract
she don't have a
eyes and
butt.
lips. I know. That's
I knew
I
that.
know. That's the problem. That's a serious problem.
I knew that was coming.
That
That's a
booty looked
serious problem.
pitiful. That booty looked sad, man.
It
Black
looked it.
question.
What is looked at, bro?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it was
that's
just
the
a
hood
flat
thing.
tire. I mean,
I
That's the
know,
hood
bro.
thing,
I
man.
know.
Abu
I
not
love
flat.
you, Fatal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody needs love, even flat tires. You
Oh.
love them anyway. Black question: how do you feel about the emergence of other races in the hip hop community when it used to be mostly black?
Well, the problem is that it wasn't. It depends on where you're from. We'll let you. So I'm from New York. Parents are from New York, but I don't live in New York City right now. But so yes, it was, and it did start with the hip hop culture was founded in the Bronx, right? So it is the foundation is black, but there was always the I'm trying to be politically correct, but
No, don't be politically
Latinos,
correct.
right? Latinos were always right there, and then you did always have one white guy in the crew, over there. It's not, it's the thing about it is that it's music. So at the end of the day, the thing that I love about hip hop and the culture of hip hop is that it was something that bridged gaps, because music transcends the whatever differences that we have. So it doesn't make a difference who the person is behind that microphone. If they're making dope music, they're making dope music. Just respect just like with Star Wars, I always bring it back to Star Wars. Respect the foundation, respect the founding fathers. Know that the Bronx is where it started, right? It started as a black culture, right? It started with the black culture, but it will not have reached as many. I mean, it's worldwide now, and it would not have reached that without being able to get out of just the black culture. So,
Yeah, Callus nailed it, man.
Do you guys like today's hip hop?
No.
No. No.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the rap, you're talking about rap, like the mumble rap and all of that.
I don't understand it.
Nope.
It's like auto tune and that's about it.
Honestly, the music industry, I mean, I think across the board is kind of a thing right now where unless you like pop music, like you've got to go to the people that have been doing it for some years, like some older artists, because because most of the new stuff, I mean, unless you're into pop music, it's trash.
And my son is 16, and he's, so it's what he's listening to, and sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Hello, greetings.
What's up, Dimajan?
What's up, man?
What's
How
up?
you
Talking
doing?
about your music.
You talk about my music?
Oh yeah, the merchant not rap, don't he?
Yeah, I do.
Let me read this super chat from my man Micah D2, another $5 super chat because he was talking about Brie Larson. He goes, in all caps, I think he's yelling at you, Fatal J. He says, what, average? You see that booty? I thought you guys liked that booty. She is sub-average.
Bro, that picture of her in that Captain Marvel suit, that was sad, man. It was disgusting looking, actually.
Don't hit him with the body shaming, Lonely. Hit him with the body shaming.
I mean, that's what he do, bro. Like he out here looking like Fabio in his prime, bro.
Micah D with the $2 super chat. Three black guys and a drunk, a Latino, and a fake panel.
What else you got? What's some more black questions? We got a lot, so we got to run through them things.
I haven't seen. What do you like today's hip hop, Dimajanai?
Absolutely. When I listen to Underground.
Me too.
So was that a yes or a no? Was that a not? You were like absolute, and then you went right into something else.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Dimajanai, do you listen to Action Bronson?
Right. Come on now. We got questions. It's not Taylor J asks questions out.
Well,
Hold on.
well, if you would have gave me a chance to finish, I would have tied that into the question.
No.
So, you'll never let me finish, bro.
I listen to
Hey, I don't know what it is about me, but you always want to point me at. Hey, you know what? Let's turn this into a Theta J and Banter show.
Your
Okay?
questions don't
Banter.
lead into simple.
All right,
Banter,
here's,
let's turn this into the Theta J and Banter show.
so
Go
here's
ahead.
y'all can
Ask
do
your
that on
question,
your
brother.
stream. Do that on your stream. But the Skeptical Llama actually has a serious question, and I guess it'd be interesting to hear from you guys because I've heard this question asked before, and it's painted on the media and other outlets a little differently. It says, "Black question: do you think single-parent homes are the biggest issue with this generation? Having, I think he in quotes he said, not quotes, but he says no strong male role models. Do you think not having strong male role models in the home is an issue?" He doesn't necessarily say Black America, but just in this generation as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably, see, I guess I'm not the best because I had my father and
Me too.
and then I am a father and I'm married to my wife. And so I'm probably not the best resource, but just to know, I guess, from, people around me, that, yeah, it is a problem. I guess that's the best I can speak on it though. Cause
Let me speak on it real quick. I work at a school. Okay.
You're a teacher?
Yes.
Lord.
You never knew that, did you?
No.
You taught the kids
What?
how to clean the toilets there, didn't you?
Listen, he said he worked at a school. He didn't say he was a teacher.
Right. He worked at a school.
Bro, I just admitted I was a teacher, bro. But
I know,
anyway,
I got you.
but anyways, I see both sides of the spectrum, okay? I see the kids who got their fathers in their lives, and then I see the kids who don't. It's a huge and big difference. I hate to say it, but all the boys out there need some type of male role model in their lives. Yes, they do.
No, that's absolutely right.
Or they gonna be confused.
Me, I had an extra special because I had my stepdad, my brother's father, and my father was in my life too. So and plus I had my uncles. One of my uncles is a military man. He actually just retired from the military. He's a master sergeant. So his father was World War II. So I had a lot of strong male figures in my life. But the funny thing about it is I never was disciplined by males. Like I had got punishments or whatever, but my mom was the one who was doing all the capital punishment around. That she was doing most of the capital punishment. But
but D, she might have been doing the capital punishment, but she said you don't want me to tell your father.
You know what was funny? My father never really had to do anything. My dad, the funny thing about it was, with my dad, all he had to do was he'd be like, yo, listen, just keep it straight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I ain't gonna give you no money. I'm like, yo, you got me.
See, mine was different because I grew up in a military house, but my father's 3rd degree black belt, right? And a military man. So he never put hands on us. Never put hands on us. My mother was the one that was the disciplinarian, but she knew because my father would just look.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing like that, I do with my son. He just looked like you don't want me to put hands on you. And that was enough. It's like, okay.
But that's weird though, because that's the same thing. I had both parents. But my mama was the one that did most of the disciplinary. Now, my dad, he might have got me 2 or 3 times, but it was mostly my mama. So do you think that's a black thing when a mama do the discipline?
I don't know. You might actually.
You know what?
I got
same thing in my house.
A couple Italian friends. The moms always did a lot of the hitting too. You know what I'm saying? Because me growing up in Brooklyn, I had a lot of Italian friends, Irish friends, all that stuff. So they did some of the hitting too.
I guess
my mom did the ass whipping.
I guess I'm the only one that had a single parent household here.
So
I guess
speak, bro.
Answer this. Well,
yeah, you speak.
All right. So for me, I do believe, especially today, because these kids are weird. A lot of these kids are just weird today. But for me, I don't think it's necessary to have a father figure or whatever. But I would say you need to have it because for me, I grew up, I knew right from wrong. My mom raised me right. I wasn't perfect. I did wrong stuff. But at the end of the day, I had someone above me to lead me down the right path, to let me know, like, look, there are consequences to the actions. Don't be out here in these streets listening to these idiots trying to tell you to do this, do that, and do that. So, like, for me, like, I always had my mom, and even though I didn't have a dad around, I'm not going to say she played the father role, because of course you can't do that, but she was there strong enough to have me on a straight path to where I'm at today. Like, I'm not some rich and famous person, but I've never gotten into any trouble. Like, I've never put myself into situations where I could get into trouble. But, man, like I said, my brother's wife is a teacher, and the stories I hear about these kids today, it's like, man, they need like 10 fathers, man.
Yeah.
You know, and to go right along with that, I mean, to me, I mean, just due to the question, I mean, it says single parent homes. I mean, you could be in a single parent home and still have the other parent involved in your life. But I think what they're talking about is a single parent raising the kid. But I mean, just kind of like LB is saying here, I mean, I think a lot of it, just like everything, just like every single thing, whether you got one parent or two parents, is it all comes down to the parenting. All the things that are going on in our world right now, they all start in the home. Whether it's through neglect, coddling, or, you know, I mean, there's plenty of good parents still out there. So, I mean, I think it all depends on the parents and the parenting that's going on in the house.
All right, we got some funny. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because, like, man, it could be a single parent home, a 2-parent home, or a multi-parent home. If the parents are trash, most likely these kids might turn out to be trash too.
And that's true, because I see a lot of that too.
So I will say this, and then we have some funny questions that we'll kind of breeze through them real quick, because we don't want to spend too much time on them. Me and my brother were in line at the Haunted Mansion at Disney World about 5 years ago, when a young black male was acting up in line, and then out of nowhere, kid you not, something went through the crowd in the air and hit that young man in the back of the head, and it was a shoe.
Oh, that sounds about right.
And we all just like turned around, and mom heard him say like a bad word, and I'd never seen that in my life.
Black mothers got good aim.
That shoe went through the crowd, man, and clocked him right. Like we saw, I thought it was a bird. I kid you not. I thought it was a bird. Kapow. I was like, thank God that's not my mom, because
you sure that wasn't a chancleta?
Yeah, I was gonna say them chanclas, man. They'd be like fucking Captain America's shield.
Here's a black question. We'll get through this real quick. Matthew says, why does Blank Man get no love as a black superhero movie?
I'm glad you said that. That's a dope movie.
It is. It is.
That's a dope movie.
It's a funny movie. It's stretching it to say dope, bro.
Yeah. The thing about Damian Wayans, he got a lot of underrated movies that don't get talked about.
Well, you can't even pronounce his name right, so how are we supposed to believe that he's dope?
Black
it's
question.
Funny.
French,
I give you that. It's funny, but
French toast or waffles?
French toast.
I think
French toast.
Yeah.
I mean,
French toast
I mess with waffles now because I'm too lazy to make French toast. But yeah,
Belgian waffle.
Oh, black question. Your homework assignment is to Google Cheddar Man and be ready next week. Micah D with the $5 super chat.
Micah, did you just get paid or something, bro?
Yeah, he robbed the 7-Eleven. Black question. Why do you guys talk so much in the theaters? Other people want to know, not me. And just kidding. I'm going to catch hell for this. You know, that's pretty funny. So there is the stereotype that black people talk loud in the movie theaters. So
it depends on where you at. They don't do that. They don't do that ish out here.
I've got a story for you. For you. Okay, about a year ago, I crashed on my bicycle. My shit was all jacked up. I got scars, because I broke my collarbone. But anyway, I went to the movies to watch Jurassic World, and I'm walking down the aisle, and there's this family of black people sitting there, and I walk by, and it's all pre-reserved seats. So I sat down in my seat, and the lady next to me, she goes, I should have next time I'm just going to buy the whole row so we don't have to sit next to nobody. And I'm just like, what? So then like the movie goes on and, the trailers come on, they're talking. through the trailers, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna stop when the movie starts. Whatever. So then the movie starts and it continues, and it's not even like quiet. It's like loud. I mean, she's going on and on. I mean, like, have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000? With like the robots and the dude giving their commentary the whole time? It was like that the whole movie.
Giving commentary throughout the whole film.
Dude, I'm telling you, about 3/4 of the way through the movie, maybe a little less than that. I finally, I was getting ready to say something, and then the husband got up to leave and go use the restroom. He came back. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait, and because I was like, I know it's gonna happen again. And so, sure enough, he got back, and they're just sitting there going at it, talking it up. And finally, I just leaned over and said, you know what, ma'am, I agree with you. Next time that you're gonna come to the theater, just buy the whole row so nobody has to hear you flapping your gums the whole time. So she threw her popcorn all over me, to say the least.
Look, I know for a fact Fatal J is one of those that talk in the movie theater. I know he does.
But hey, if you don't like black folks talking during a movie, do not go to a Tyler Perry movie.
That's true.
Trust me.
I wanna talk on this one because Perp said. He said you've got more lyricists in this generation than in the 90s. And I know we're going backwards. But
he don't know.
Bruh, Perp is like 19 years old, bruh.
Okay, because I just need to know what do you consider a lyricist? Because the only lyricists I know of this generation are from really the past generation that are still rapping now. I don't know any any lyricists that I guess you.
So I didn't get a chance to say anything about that hip hop stuff because y'all cut me off. But I listen to underground. I listen to Q&5 music, Team Hami, all the underground circuit, like the battle rappers and all that stuff. If you want to hear lyricists, a dope lyricist, Tone Deaf. He rapped with KRS-One. Domingo, the producer, he did stuff with them and all that stuff.
But that's not this generation.
He still raps though. His
but that's my point, D.
No, all right, so all right, I'll put it like this. All right, so one of his artists, Lucy Kemp, female rapper, she's this generation. She spits fire. Who else? Don Manil, she's this generation. Again, this is all underground artists, so you're not gonna go on. I mean, they have iTunes and stuff like that, so you can look them up. They on SoundCloud, all that good stuff. But it's not like they getting pushed heavy by like the mainstream. But still, you want to hear lyrics, that's where you got to go. And I go to EOW, whatever they have. They used to have it every Sunday, but you see a lot of live new talent stuff like that.
You mean guys don't like Tekashi 69? You don't like who's in jail right now?
Nah, I don't mess with that. I'm sorry.
Micah D with the $5 super chat. Again, he says, I work for a living, LOL. I work hard. Don't judge what I blow my money on. We went to Endgame in Central Florida, and damn, people were talking a lot.
Hey, like, man, that ruined
it just depends on where you are.
Like, I went to see Endgame, and I go to a theater where I know for a fact black people ain't driving to. But for some reason, there were two black people to my left. They talked the entire time. They was on their phone the entire time, bro. My blood's boiling. Like, for Endgame, bro. For Endgame of all movies, why you couldn't do that during Captain Marvel or something? Like,
I have to say something. I can't put up with that shit, man. I just can't.
So you guys heard this in the chat that black people do not like when black people talk in the theater. So I hope that is finally squashed.
When people, period, because
people, period. Excuse me.
Now it's the kids sometimes, and they just like, I'm like, can you? Or they had a phone out and they're just talking. I'm like, oh man.
And this the kicker right here. You don't want to say nothing because you don't want to throw them hands at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
No. Like you didn't say anything when I called you out for talking in movie theaters.
Bro, there you go again.
The only time I had an issue with that was I saw Creed 2. And I went to a theater that was a little downtown, and there was a lot of black women in there, and they were older. And every time Michael B. Jordan had his shirt off, I swear they were They were doing something bad. Yeah, it was like loud, like they were moaning and saying, "Oh, more." I mean, it was like, I'm like, dang, what the heck are they doing in the theater? Like, I wasn't gonna, So let me tell you what white people do. When people talk in the theater, you have like two kinds. You have the ones that do like the half turn,
Yeah.
to hope that the half turn will get them to be quiet. Then you have the ones that go like this, that are like, I'm calling the manager immediately.
tell.
Like,
Yep.
I'm not gonna,
tell.
I'm gonna get my refund, and I'm not even gonna say anything to these people. I'm going to call the manager, or they'll just get up and get the manager and act like they didn't do anything. So that's
Matthew
how,
is funny.
that's how that goes.
Now, Drunk,
And a
which
lot of
one is
people.
you?
What's
I was
that?
gonna say, a lot of people complain about kids at the theater, but you know what? I've actually had people stop and compliment me on my kids at the theater, because like people were talking about Endgame and taking kids that are too young there to it. My 4-year-old sat through that whole movie without saying a thing. My daughter's
I would
2.
have been there judging you, though. I would have been judging you, bro. I would have been there judging you.
And that's why I said
I'd
I've
have-
had people stop later. Like one time I had these old people, they stopped and they're like, you know what? They're like, we just wanted to stop and tell you that you have like the best kids ever. We were scared. We wanted to leave when we saw that you had the kids here, but they were so quiet the whole time and so good. And I was like, I was like, I just hugged my kids, and it made me nearly want to cry because I love my babies.
I mean, it can get, going to the theater can be a hassle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever get mad when you see like a hard R-rated movie and people bring in their like 2 and 3-year-olds to go watch that? You ever look at that and go, what the freak are they doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Did it?
That's why I just said, I feel bad, but I would be judging. Somebody see me walk in with the bed, like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Hold on.
16-bit mascot. First time here, but I've seen you around. Gonna check things out. Seems like good stuff. Oh, we have a great time here. 16-bit mascot. Come on. Sub to everyone in the channel.
Made a good point though. 16. He said, "Where are the good comedies of this generation?" Yeah, where he said, like, "Where's this generation's Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy?" That's a good point.
Kevin Hart's trying to do that.
Yeah, true. Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. I think the problem
Kevin
is
Hart is not funny.
We really can't get those things that we had back in the day, because now the spectators are coming in and swoop in and be like, "Oh, you can't say that. Oh, that's an ism.
Right.
That's an is.
Hey.
You can't do that." I think the last one that really was on that level was Chuck and what's the name? Now I pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I think that's the name of it. Where they was tackling into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that was like the last one that was like.
I'm gonna tell you who was the last one to mention that. George Carlin.
No, I know him. Yeah, I'm talking about that's stand. I'm talking about as far as movies. If you talk about stand up, that's a totally different story. But I'm talking about an actual movie that was put out, something like a Coming to America or
Trading Places.
Trading Places. You're never gonna get nothing like
what
that.
What about
you can't get it? They would shut Trading Places down.
Or even freaking something like American Pie.
Yeah, but what about Tropic Thunder? Do you think Tropic Thunder was like the last one that crossed the line with the white man dressing like?
Tropic Thunder didn't cross the line though. I don't know. Maybe I'm.
No, man. Speak your mind.
I enjoyed Tropic Thunder. So when I saw Robert Downey, it was funny because it didn't seem like there was any malice at all in his heart. You could feel that he enjoyed playing that part to make people laugh, not because he was trying to make fun of anybody. And that's the difference. And when he first, I'm playing a dude that's playing a dude. Like, that shit had me rolling. Like, I'm dressed as a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Like, that shit had me rolling.
He said, "What do you mean, you people?"
Exactly.
Oh, you know,
he was trying to make people laugh genuinely. There did not seem like there was any sort of intent or hidden, like, let me get the black people with this one. You know, there was none of that under that.
And to piggyback on that, actually, Perk said Soul Man too. Soul Man was another one like that too. But to piggyback on that, when I see like these, these like what was the last I saw somebody. She kind of put like tanned her face up, whatever. She was cosplaying, and like, oh, she doing blackface. I'm like, yo, is a difference between what blackface was doing as opposed to somebody cosplaying. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was, I forget who it was. They did something, and she just like, she didn't like put blackface on, but she like darkened it, like she went like tanning almost. So that's what it looked like. And they said, "Oh, you doing blackface?" Like, that's not blackface. It's not. It was like that was malice. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like with the girl who had the Asian dress on for prom, and everybody was all up in arms, and then like the people in Asia was like, "We appreciate you wearing that." You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, she posted a picture of her dressing like with Asian dress, and everyone was like,
I thought it was, I thought it was nice.
That's what we had talked about this a few weeks ago. Like, people asked the question, would you be upset if you saw a white kid dressed as Black Panther?
Absolutely not.
and it's sad that we are at this point where we have to ask that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the thing is that if a little white boy is idolizing Black Panther, why is that a problem? Like that, because years ago that would have been the problem. The fact that this little white boy is idolizing this Black Panther, right? So that shows
how far we've come. It's really about intent. It's all about intent. I got a call coming.
Yeah, because your mic sound different.
Yeah, I had a call just coming through. So that's the problem with it. If when you're talking like Dee was saying, cosplaying, if somebody is looking to cosplay because they idolize a character or that character resonates with them, then that shows growth. That shows that there's a connection, right? They connected with that character that was beyond the skin color, and that's what we're trying to get past anyway. So why are we now falling back on that as an excuse of why somebody shouldn't be in that position where they I don't know, man. It's I don't know.
Yeah. What happened?
I hear you.
Jump fell off.
Jump fell off and came back.
Fell off. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, like that to me, that it's just as crazy. Like me growing up, my favorite superhero was Spider-Man. You know, you put the suit on. Of course, Spider-Man. You know, Peter Parker is a white man. But I'm like, that's the same concept where you flip it. I'm dressing up as, even though the whole point of Spider-Man was Stan Lee says that anybody can put that mask on, but the point of it is Peter Parker is not black. So I didn't need a Miles Morales for me to like Spider-Man. You know, I'm the type of person, I have a big problem where, and I said this in one of my videos. Listen, if you have to have somebody look like you, be like you, have the same sexual orientation as you on screen, somebody in your life failed you. Somebody in your life failed you. You don't need to have that to have some kind of connection with somebody or to have representation, to feel pride or whatever you want to do. That's so, it just, to me, it blows my mind that we have to have that conversation with people. You know what I mean? But, you know, there's neither here nor there.
So did you enjoy the movie White Chicks?
No.
It was, I watched it, but it wasn't like it was something I enjoyed.
I thought it was hilarious.
Marlon Wayans makes terrible movies. Like Marlon Wayans is part of the problem.
Yeah, but he did Blank Man, didn't he?
No, that was the older brother.
That was
Damon Wayans.
Oh, that's his brother. See,
Shoot,
you guys all look alike.
It was a classic.
You ever heard that one before? All right, sorry. Go ahead, Second Street, Marvel, and I'm gonna read these super chats.
Oh, I just said I'm gonna get you, sucker was a classic.
Oh man, that was great. Yeah, that was a classic.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Hey, real quick
but see, those type of movies made and correct me if I'm wrong. Did they not like try to make fun of certain black culture?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
In a certain way where it was like,
there was
you
like
can laugh at it. We need to laugh at it, and we need to correct it. You know, things like that.
Yeah, that's the problem with what's going on with comedy, just the movies in general, is the fact that this is just a form of expression. If there's an intent to hurt somebody, then I get it. You know, but if we're just trying to bridge gaps and to get over these hurdles, that's the way that we're going to do it. As soon as you start telling people what they can't do, that's when you start putting up barriers, and then we have to figure out ways to go over. Let's break through them. Just, you know, all cylinders clicking, and let's move ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's another good one too. House Party.
House Party was all right, Micah D with another $5. Man, he's just taking
killing
care of
it.
everything.
Yo, he
tonight.
making it rain over there. What's
Yeah,
up with
he
that?
He says we need a good 80s movie comedy that makes fun of racist BS nowadays. Something to finally kill that dumb S. I swear it died in the 90s. That's exactly what Lord Callis and all of us are talking about. That they need to
Sausage
let
party.
go. They need to let go of the barriers and yeah, just let us go. Micah D with another $5 super chat. I don't want Black Panther to be a white guy, and I don't need Spider-Man to be black. That's exactly what Damaj and I was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
agree.
like let's not
Don't get me wrong.
Damaj and I's point was wonderful. Basically, you were saying if I need someone to look like me, be the same as me, and be everything like me for me to enjoy it, then I have an issue.
Yeah.
So
And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with diversity, actual diversity if you're gonna put it in. But the thing that makes me laugh is that we get these, spectators out there that like to say that there wasn't diversity until now. Like, really? Are you kidding me? Like it's like right now, it's like you're doing it just to put check boxes.
Yeah.
We had that discussion last week. Like, why do you got to put check boxes? Why don't you just have a natural flow of things? You know what I mean? So I just lose my mind when I see, oh, we gotta have this. Oh, like the big one now is did y'all hear what they were talking about earlier about the guy who's writing Iceman? That because Iceman is gay now, and it was a gay guy writing Iceman or whatever, and he's telling how Marvel was kind of like really wasn't backing him up. It's because they basically made you a diversity hire. Like, and that's nothing. Why was Iceman gay? Why? Why?
Who is Iceman?
That's what I was gonna say. Is that I don't know Iceman.
Iceman from the X-Men?
Yeah, from the X.
He's
That's
gay?
right.
He's
Yeah,
gay?
gay
in the
now in the
comics, he's
comics.
gay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's gay in
why
the
he
comics.
never was gay. When I grew up,
Bruh.
when I was growing up, Bobby was with Spider-Man and the Spider-Friends. It was him and Firestar and Spider-Man. He was never gay.
Bruh, in the movies, he was going with the girl that was walking through the walls.
Exactly. Exactly. Iceman was never gay until 3 years ago, or whatever. And what made it so bad, the way they made him come out, it was like Jean Grey was like, "Oh, Bobby, you're gay." Like, she was in his mind. This is Bobby, you're gay. I'm like, what? Like, who does that? But whatever. Listen, again, I'll put it out there. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but make your own character. Don't take my character that I grew up with and make him gay just because you want to have some kind of checkbox checked off. Make your own character. That's what you gotta do. You could have had Ice Cream and made him gay. You know what I'm saying? That's what could have been. You could have Iceman alone.
Micah D with a $2 super chat. I also don't need Iceman gay. Exactly what Damaj and I is saying.
Michael must have just sold a whole brick.
Yeah, he did. He sold 2 bricks. He sold 2 bricks out
We'll take
there.
a couple more. Black question. What do y'all think of Into the Spider-Verse?
I actually didn't mind it. I didn't mind
It's
it.
a good movie.
Yeah.
I just watched that today.
On bootleg, huh?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Hey, Jay, if you need a non-bootleg version, if you go to my channel and watch a video, as soon as I hit 300 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Nah, I got Netflix
Shameless
this
plug.
time, y'all. I got Netflix this time.
Hey, real quick though, because I wasn't there earlier, but I definitely like to give my condolences to that Star Wars girl.
Yeah.
I was that really, because I met her, I met her earlier this year, so that's like, that's like family to me now. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping that wasn't the case, but when she said that she didn't show up to work, I got a real bad feeling.
Yeah.
And I just really like to put my condolences out. And on that same note, to the dude, I'm not gonna mention the guy's name. I'm not gonna mention whatever, but the dude who put that crazy tweet on
I know what you're
on her
talking
screen,
about. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't condone any kind of violence or anything, but I will condone an octagon match. That dude needs to see me in the octagon match, and I show him a thing or two about talking smack like that. Because seriously, that was uncalled for. Like,
It was
that,
uncalled for.
Yeah.
look,
Totally.
it's one thing.
And what's crazy, and I don't want to, like Drunk said, I don't want to, make the chat all about that. But
No,
that's,
it's okay.
that was a grown man. That person. It was not a child, because when you listen to the language, it's not a child that would know what a mongoloid is.
Yeah.
So that was an adult, and to think that he would or she would have just the hatred inside of them to say something like that is just disgusting.
It's one thing to be like, troll, haha, funny, like me going against Ruin Johnson, whatever. That's just me poking fun at him. But that's, you know, when it comes to somebody's life, man, that's
Yeah.
something you don't play
It's
with, man. Like I don't
disgusting.
play around like that. You know, it's even like it's like what Biggie said back in the day when, you know, when Pac died. He says, "Man, I ain't wish that on nobody. You don't come back from that." And
Yeah.
that's one thing you don't. That's when I don't mess around with stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I my cousin was murdered and stuff like that, so I know how it's like to have somebody, you know, cut short in their life. You know what I'm saying? And it just, like I say, I didn't get a chance to say that, but I wanted to just put that out there real fast. So. Rest in peace, Ellen.
Yeah, it. The internet has made people. It's exposed a lot of people for who they are, and it's also made. You know, when I went to school, if I said something stupid like that, I mean, it was.
Yeah, you throwing hands.
People fighting at 3 o'clock at the playground, and then
Right.
so you learn quick. Just keep your mouth shut. You know, unless you feel like you want to do something. And it's the internet has changed all that because, you know, you can't put your hand like, I mean, listen, I don't endorse violence either, but when I was a kid growing up, I fought all the time in school because number one, if someone was picking on me, we got into a fight. Number two, you fought to defend honor. Number three, fights just happened all the time, and you just had to, you either took it. You win some, you lose some. But you walked away and had another day. It's just a different time now.
Yeah.
It's a different time now. Micah D with another $2 super chat. He said, "I sold 5 bricks today. Enjoy." Awesome, man.
Nice.
It's awesome, Micah. Thank you, man. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. But yeah, it's getting to 10 o'clock, and we're gonna wrap up the. It was a good stream tonight, fellas.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It was a good stream.
I thought y'all was going to go next weekend. I wasn't expecting y'all to go this weekend.
That's why you need to.
I think we're gonna try to do it every Sunday to keep the momentum. And
Who said that? LB?
Yeah, I know, but listen.
Read the DMs, D.
I'm at work all the time, so like,
bro,
on
you
weekends.
don't work 24/7, bro.
You right. But look,
if a chick hits you up and say, "Hey, come over after work," you respond to that text immediately, bro.
Listen, you're not lying. You're not lying. But listen, regardless, I was at work anyway, so it wouldn't make no difference. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everyone that stopped by. And before we do, I'd like to thank my patrons. For being a Patreon, you get shouted out at the end of every live stream. Their link is below in the description. Also, almost everyone in the panel's link is in the description. Sorry, I missed a couple. But I will say that Cass has put everybody's channel in the chat. She's been doing that over and over, and the Anna GoFundMe page. So I appreciate all that as well. So does anybody have anything they need to announce? Anything they want to?
Cass, I'm sending you some ice cream or some cake one day. So we'll make that happen. You deserve some ice cream or cake. You deserve something.
She kills it. See, absolutely.
Yeah, she did her thing, man.
All the way from the Philippines.
So I got you some PHP cake and ice cream, okay?
There it is. Anybody else want to promote anything? 'Cause I don't really like to do the, hey, say your channel, because she's been throwing the channels in the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, so anybody have anything they want to promote?
Toxic says Cheddar Man homework.
Yeah. No, it's been good. It was a good discussion, and I think things are going well. So be with us here next Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday, and I appreciate you, Cass, again. Thank you. LB Say's getting you some cake, and I'll put some love on it as well. So that's where we'll go with that.
What kind of love you gonna put on that cake?
Love, man. Like
pause.
Yeah, thinking the wrong thing. Look at you. I'm trying to be nice. All the way to the Philippines.
Cass think I'm playing. When I'm gonna hit up in the DM, I'm like, hey, I need that address to mail you a cake.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, you're gonna FedEx it to the Philippines?
Overnight
to the Philippines, Cass. Overnight it. That's how much we love you. So you know,
he's
it's all
gonna
good.
send the ingredients and make you make it yourself. That's how he's going to do it. He deserves better. She deserves better.
Come on, man.
It's been awesome, man. Thank you, everyone. Man, we averaged at 1.45 and about 30.
Absolutely.
It was pretty nice. So I appreciate my panelists and all you guys that are in the chat.
Oh
And,
yeah, real quick,
Thanks for having
before
us,
y'all-
man. Appreciate it.
Before
No
y'all go
worries.
check out my live stream I had up there the other day, y'all. I need some views. Need some views on my side.
All right.
It would be nice that you told us that you live stream, but
I put that. Look, hey, same thing you say to me. Check your live, your feed. I be putting it up every time I do it. Check your feed, bro. Check your feed.
Oh, I'm not cool enough for you to send me a DM like, hey, come check out my live stream, bro. Oh, okay,
I'm putting it on the feed, yo.
Tweet me, at me.
So I guess I have to at you then. All right, I'll at you.
Bye, everybody. They're arguing. It could go another hour, so we just gonna. Till next
All
time.
right, y'all.